Assalamu alaikum. This is your English teacher Sir Khalid Salim, and I would be conducting your online classes. So, as we all know that the situation in Pakistan, it's very bleak. The situation is not favorable for us to open the schools and to allow the students to continue their studies. So it has been decided by the administration of the school that we would be having two lectures each week of English class, and the syllabus of English it entails the literature part and the grammar part. So the literature part for the literature part we'll be studying this book, New Oxford Modern English, book 5, that has been written by Nicholas Hosberg and Claire Hosberg. So I am sure that each and every student has bought this book, and they're having it right now with them. So the first chapter that we are going to read in our, that is a part of our syllabus, it's The World in a Wall by Gerald Durrell. Okay, so we are going to start by reading this chapter, and we'll be reading each and every part of the exercise, and we'll be attempting it. So let's begin. Okay, before starting with the reading of the chapter, at the beginning of this chapter, The World in a Wall, that is on page 2. The first exercise, the first, you can say, the list of words that we have been given, it's words to know. So we'll be reading it, okay, so that the pronunciation of these words while we are reading the actual chapter is not too hard for us. So the first word is bulbous. Okay, bulbous. It means fat, bulging, and round, shaped like a bulb. So anything that is fat and it's like outward and it's round, and especially if it's shaped like a bulb, so that is known as bulbous. Okay, bulging means something that is swelling outwards or sticking out. कोई भी ऐसी चीज जो है जो बाहर की तरफ लटक रही है या निकल रही है, so we call that word bulging. The third word is confetti means small pieces of colored paper traditionally thrown on birthdays and marriage ceremonies. So while we are celebrating the birthdays, you might have seen that a few of the boys, they might throw some colorful paper on you, so that paper is actually known as confetti. Okay, the fourth one is dawdling. It means being slow. It also means that if you dawdle over something or dawdle on something, it means that you are lazy and you're not interested in doing something, so you are taking a lot of time in doing certain activity. The fifth one is enraptured means that you are extremely pleased by. It means कि आप किसी चीज़ से बहुत ज़्यादा खुश हैं. It might be that you're enraptured by the success of your brother in his exams. So इस तरह हो सकता है. ओके, इन्फिनिट का मतलब होता है समथिंग दैट इज़ लिमिटलेस, इम्पॉसिबल टू मेजर. फॉर एग्जांपल, आई माइट से दैट द यूनिवर्स इज़ इन्फिनिट. I mean, you cannot calculate the distance in universe because it's so big, it's so huge, so it becomes impossible for you. The next word is intricate. It means something that is extremely detailed and complicated. For example, intricate patterns of you can say woodwork के कोई लकड़ी का पीस है और उस पर बड़े मतलब कॉम्प्लिकेटेड से डिज़ाइन बनाए हुए हैं, सो यू कैन कॉल दैट इंट्रिकेट. ओके, द नेक्स्ट वर्ड इज़ ऑब्लिवियस का मतलब होता है अनअवेयर. यू आर अनअवेयर ऑफ समथिंग. इट मीन्स कि आपको किसी चीज़ के बारे में अंदाज़ा ही नहीं है. फॉर एग्जांपल, वी माइट मेक अ सेंटेंस दैट असद एक नेम ले लेते हैं. असद इज़ ऑब्लिवियस of the pandemic of coronavirus. ठीक है, he is oblivious to the pandemic of coronavirus, कि उसको कोरोना वायरस के बारे में कोई अवेयरनेस ही नहीं है. The next one is phobia means an extreme fear of something, कि आप जो हैं किसी चीज़ से बहुत ज़्यादा खौफज़दा हैं. For example, there might a boy might be having a phobia of spiders. I mean, you can have a phobia of insects. For example, if you see a cockroach running around, So you might scream and you might jump and you might try to escape that situation. You might try to get away from the cockroach. So that means you are phobic to cockroach. आपको phobia है cockroaches का. uh, the next word is predator. Predator means an animal that hunts and kills another for food. इसका मतलब होता है कि कोई शिकार करता है. For example, take lion या tiger. They do what? They are predators. Okay, they try to hunt sheep. They try to hunt any sort of animals that they would like to eat. So these two animals, they are predators. An animal that hunts and kills another for food. Okay. Quashed का मतलब होता है you reject something or you stop something. The next one is rapidity. Rapidity का मतलब होता है moving or reacting with great speed. For example, the car may be moving rapidly. आप कह सकते हैं उसके लिए. Rapidity का मतलब होता है कि something that is moving or reacts with great speed. Reluctantly, it means with hesitation or unwillingly. For example, if someone asks to borrow a pen from you, you might be hesitant, you might be reluctant in giving your pen to that person. So same case over here. Reluctantly कि आप बहुत ज़्यादा reluctant हैं, आप बहुत ज़्यादा hesitant हैं, you're hesitating in helping someone out. Repercussion means consequence. In other words, it means an unintended, unwelcomed consequence of an event or an action. Okay, मतलब for example आपने कोई ऐसी हरकत की है and you are basically very much afraid of the consequences, so you can use this word repercussion. For example, I am afraid of the repercussions of my actions. Okay, next one is rotund. Rotund means large and plump, मतलब बड़ा और मोटा. Plump का मतलब होता है someone that is fat and chubby, so we call that rotund. Okay. The next one is scuttled. Scuttled means to run with quick and hasty steps. Hasty का मतलब होता है तेज, speed. आप कहते हैं कि speed से आप लोग भाग रहे होते हैं. Surreptitiously means secretively and sneakily. It means that it also means stealthily. Okay, like you don't want anyone to know that you are doing something, some secret activity. So you do it with surreptitiously. Okay. Okay, now coming on to the reading of this chapter. I would be reading it, and I expect the students that after we are done reading the entire chapter, they should try to read it on their own in their homes, and if they find any sort of problems associated with this with the reading of the chapter, you may ask in the comment section. Okay. Starting with the reading of this chapter, we're going to begin from it for this chapter from here. Okay, this extract is from the autobiography My Family and Other Animals by Gerald Durrell. So this chapter that you're going to read, it has been taken from a book. Okay, the name of the book is My Family and Other Animals, and it has been written by Gerald Durrell. Okay, so it's like an autobiography. Autobiography means that if any person is writing about himself on his own life. Okay. Durrell was an expert in studying animals. So he was an expert in studying animals. When he was 10 years old, Durrell, his older siblings, and his mother moved to Corfu in Greece to live with Durrell's grown up brother Larry. So, as soon as he was 10 years old, he along with his older siblings का मतलब होता है बहन भाई, ठीक है. So and his mother, they moved to this place in Greece is the name of a country, so Corfu is a name of a place that is in Greece. Okay, to live with Durrell's grown up brother Larry, कि वो Durrell का जो बड़ा भाई है Larry, उसके साथ वहाँ पे रहने के लिए चले गए. It was here that Durrell began to collect and keep animals as pets. तो यहाँ पे जो है कॉर्फ्यू के अंदर ड्यूरल, द ऑथर ऑफ दिस चैप्टर, उसने क्या किया कि कलेक्ट करने लग गया एनिमल्स और उनको रखने लग गया अपने पालतू जानवरों की तरह. ओके. The crumbling wall that surrounding the garden outside the house was a rich hunting ground for me. So crumbling means something that is in a very bad shape and that might fall at any time. Okay, so this wall, it was surrounding the garden, and it was a rich hunting ground for me. Hunting का मतलब होता है कि you go and find and search and try to catch something. It was an ancient brick wall that had been plastered over. So the wall was a very ancient thing. Ancient का मतलब होता है very old or very antique भी कह सकते हैं, old भी कह सकते हैं. Old is much favorable. Okay, so it was an ancient brick wall that had been plastered over. Plastered का मतलब है कि it was so old that they had to plaster, उस पर उन्होंने plastering की दोबारा ताकि वो गिर ना जाए. But now this outer skin was green with moss. But the outer side of the wall was green and it was covered with moss. Moss hota hai, you might have seen that on the walls something green grows. So these are like plants, okay? But they are not flowering plants. They are just plants and they grow in places which are wet or damp. अगर गीली places होती है तो वहाँ पे आपको पता फंगस की तरह it grows, bulging and sagging with the damp of many winters. Now ये लटक बाहर की तरफ moss, it was the outer skin of this, you can say the wall, it was bulging, बाहर की तरफ थी, sagging झुकी हुई थी, with the damp of many winters क्योंकि बहुत old थी. And you know, there are certain we are having seasons, four types of seasons in this world. So winters की dampness की वजह से that wall was bulging and it was sagging, बैठी हुई थी. The whole surface was an intricate map of cracks. So now it is talking about the surface of the wall, के surface कैसी थी उस wall की कि उसमें बहुत ज़्यादा complicated किस्म के cracks थे. मतलब एक map में आप ये कहते हैं कि बहुत बड़ी there was a map of cracks. Some several inches wide, और कुछ cracks जो थे वो several inches खुले थे. Others as fine as hairs, और कुछ crack इस तरह के थे कि जो बिल्कुल आपकी बालों की बारीकी की तरह. Here and there large pieces had dropped off and revealed the rows of pink rose bricks lying underneath. और यहाँ वहाँ पे क्या हुआ कि बड़े बड़े पीसेस जो थे प्लास्टर के वो गिरे हुए थे, दीवार के भी थोड़े बहुत गिरे हुए थे, और नज़र आ रहा था कि पिंक रोज़ पिंक जो है ब्रिक्स ईंटें जो थी वो अंदर दीवार के लगी हुई. The inhabitants of the wall were a mixed lot. So inhabitants means the people who are living in a certain place. तो यहाँ के inhabitants कौन है? यहाँ के inhabitants we are having as insects. So the insects that were living in the wall, they were of mixed variety. Okay, lot का मतलब होता है variety आप कह सकते हैं. And they were divided into day and night workers. So these insects, they were also divided according to their activities. Some insects, they did their activities during the day, or they carried the activities during the day, and some did it during the night. And they were divided into day and night workers, the hunters and the hunted. Hunter means something that hunts something that hunts other people or other insects or other animals, and the hunted means that is being hunted कि जिसका शिकार हो रहा हो. So we are having two types of insects in these walls, the hunters and the hunted. Okay, at night the toads and geckos were hunters. तो रात के वक्त जो था toads आपको पता है they are just like frogs, and geckos means lizards. Okay, they were hunters. So even during living in Pakistan, you might see at night time the lizards, and you know they are on the walls and they are trying to catch in flying insects, and so that is their you can say diet. Okay, now the prey. Their prey was the population of stupid, absent-minded crane flies, moths of all shapes and sizes, and rotund beetles hurrying with their night works. So उनके शिकार कौन थे? The geckos के and toads के. उनके शिकार थे आप कह दें कि स्टूपिड एब्सेंट माइंडेड पेन फ्लाइंस थी, मॉथ्स ऑफ ऑल शेप्स एंड साइजेस थे, एंड रोटर्न बीटल्स. रोटर्न का मतलब होता है समथिंग वी स्टडीड इट लार्ज एंड प्लम. राउंड होते हैं रोटर्न, लार्ज एंड राउंड. ओके. By day it was difficult to tell the difference between the prey and the predator. So during the day everyone most of the insects they're out, so it is very hard for us to distinguish that who is the hunter and who is being hunted. Okay, at night it's very easy to say because certain insects they come out like toads and geckos, and we see that they are eating moths, they are eating flies, and they also eat rotund beetles. Okay, beetles का आपने देखा होगा, they are like red shaped small insects. Okay, everything seems to feed off everything else, so it was very hard for us to tell the difference during the day कि कौन शिकारी है और कौन शिकार हो रहा है. और ऐसा लगता था कि हर चीज़ जो है वो दूसरी चीज़ों को खा के जो है वो खा रही है, ज़िंदा रह रही है. Okay. The hunting wasp searched out caterpillars and spiders. The wasp are those flies that usually have a sting at the back of their tail. Okay, मतलब आपने देखी होंगी जो हनी बीज होती हैं, ये आपको काट जाती हैं, डंग मार देती हैं, they sting you. So these flies, they usually ate try to search for caterpillars and spiders. The spiders hunted for flies. So you can see the connection that each of the every insect is trying to eat another insect. The spiders today, they were trying to find other flies to eat. The dragonflies fed off spiders. So another name of a fly, dragonfly. You might have seen these dragonflies that come out after the rain, and they try to eat spiders and flies. And the swift multicolored wall lizards fed off everything. So in that lastly, lizards, they are multicolored, बहुत ज़्यादा different रंग की हैं, वो काफ़ी तेज़ हैं. And lizards, they tried to eat everything that they could get their eyes on. But my favorites were the shyest member of the wall community, who did not seek any attention. But the favorite insect of the author was those insects that did not seek any attention. वो मतलब बिल्कुल छुप छुपा के जो है अपना काम करते थे, and they were not out in the open. They were also the most dangerous. So these types of insects or things that the author liked, they were like very shy, and they did not come out into the open, but they were the most dangerous. बहुत ज़्यादा खतरनाक थे. You hardly ever saw one unless you looked for it. I mean, unless you were looking for it, जब तक आप उनको ढूंढे ना, तो वो आपको मिलते नहीं थे, ठीक है, और आपको नज़र भी नहीं आते थे. And yet there must have been several hundred living in the cracks of the wall. ये था कि बहुत ज़्यादा 100 के बराबर जो थे वो ऐसी चीज़ें जो थी वो walls के क्रैक के अंदर रह रही थी. If you gently lifted a piece of a loose plaster away from the brick, they are crouching beneath it. Crouching का मतलब होता है something that is sitting, बैठा हुआ, ठीक है, would be a little black scorpion, an inch long, looking as though he were made out of polished chocolate. So अगर आप ब्रिक के ऊपर से प्लास्टर हटा के देखते तो आपको एक ब्लैक सा स्कॉर्पियो जो है वो नज़र आता है. स्कॉर्पियो का मतलब होता है ये जो आपकी ब्लैक से रंग के जो आपको अक्सर जिनकी टेल के पीछे वो स्टिंग लगा होता है, ठीक है, तो ऐसे लगता था कि जैसे वो किसी पॉलिश चॉकलेट के जो हैं वो बने हुए हैं. They were weird looking things. Weird means strange, अजीबो गरीब. Okay, so scorpions जो थे वो weird looking things थी, with their flattened oval bodies, their neat crooked legs, the enormous crab-like claws, bulbous and neatly joined as armor. So बहुत अजीबो गरीब तरह के लगने वाली ये चीज़ थी स्कॉर्पियो. उनकी बॉडीज फ्लैटेंड थी, मतलब चिपकी हुई थी. आप ये कहते हैं if you press something like this, you flattened it. Okay, and their bodies, they were oval shaped. Oval का हमें पता है कि oval जो है वो egg भी होता है. Egg की shape, if you look at the shape of the egg, they are oval. Okay, and their legs, and their legs were crooked. Crooked का मतलब होता है थोड़ी सी जैसे टेढ़ी हो, इस तरह करके आप ये कह दें, crooked का मतलब होता है. And इनके जो claws थे, claws means that they are having at the end of their hands, ठीक है, they are known as claws. Enormous का मतलब होता है something that is very big or huge. Bulbous का मतलब we read it shaped like a bulb. Okay, something that is fat or round. And they were neatly joined as armor. Armor का मतलब भी यही होता है आपका anything that helps you protect against any harm. I mean, you might be wearing a piece of armor over your body so that it might help you protect against any bullet or any knife attack. And the tail like a string of brown beads ending in a sting like a rose thorn. So it had a tail, and string का मतलब होता है धागा of brown beads. Brown beads mean कि brown कलर के ऐसे लगते थे मोती हैं, और दे वर एंडिंग इन अ स्टिंग। स्टिंग का मतलब होता है कोई भी चीज़ जिससे आप डंकते हो, एंड इट स्टिंग वॉज लाइक अ रोज थॉर्न, जैसे कि गुलाब के पौधों की जो आप ये कह दें कि वो जो चुभने वाले कांटे होते हैं, तो उसकी जो स्टिंग थी वो ब्राउन बीड्स की तरह थी बिल्कुल, और उसकी स्ट्रिंग की जो एंडिंग थी इट वाज जस्ट लाइक अ रोज थॉर्न। थॉर्न का मतलब होता है कांटा। द स्कॉर्पियन